Okay, the meeting comes to order. This is the Richfield Human Rights Commission, Tuesday, March 1st, 2022. And we will start by doing a roll call of members. Ann, do you want to go first?
Ann Flake, present.
Tiffany?
Here.
And Tyler?
Here.
And Tim?
Tim Garvey here.
And Walter Burke here. And we have our city council liaison, Simon.
Hey, folks.
And we also have Deputy Chief of Police, Mike. Mike, are you there? Well, we think he's there. Hopefully he'll join us in voice also.
You hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's perfect. Thank you. There we
All
are.
right.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Yep, good to see you. Good to hear from you. Approval of the agenda is next. I hope everyone had a chance to look at the agenda. And can I get a motion to approve the agenda in a second?
Ann Flake, I move we approve the agenda.
Thank you.
Seconded.
Thank you. And who seconded? State your name.
That'd be Tim Garvey, seconded.
Okay. Thank you, Tim. And Tim, you're capturing all this, right?
Oh yeah, that's why I seconded.
Okay, good. Okay. Just wanted to, it's your first day. Well, have you taken minutes before?
I have, yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Excellent. Well, then you correct me if I'm doing it wrong. How's that? Thank you.
Well, I'm not that good.
All right, fair enough. So it looks like I guess we need a vote individually. Ann?
Aye.
Tiffany?
Aye.
Tyler?
Aye.
And aye. And Tim also?
Indeed, aye.
Thank you. Looks like the agenda's been approved. Let's move on to the approval of the minutes. Minutes from the February 3rd meeting, kindly scribed by Tiffany. And can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
This is Tyler. I will motion to approve.
Okay, thank you. Motion from Tyler, a second.
Seconded. Tim Garvey.
Thank you, Tim. Okay, and so Ann? Do you approve?
Yes. Aye.
Tiffany?
Aye.
Okay, and I also approve. Great. All right. So next to the open public comments, I'll just read what's on the minutes. Anyone who is not on the agenda who would like to address the commission must inform the chair at this time. Please provide full name and address. Each speaker is to keep their comment period to 3 minutes to allow sufficient time for others and so that we can complete our meeting agenda. Comments are an opportunity to address the commission on items not on the agenda. I am okay with it going beyond 3 minutes. We don't always get to have people show up for the public comments, and we definitely appreciate the time that you're taking out to be here. And so 3 minutes doesn't seem like enough time to show that appreciation. So if you want to go over 3 minutes, that's not a problem. So,
all right. Thank you. I actually did time this, so it probably will be 3 minutes, but thank you for that. I'm Katie Shepard. My address is 7301 17th Avenue South in Richfield. And I'm a member of, as Carol mentioned earlier, we're members of a multicultural community group called Richfield for Equitable Public Safety, or REPS. And we are made up of Richfield residents who came together after George Floyd's murder to address policing issues in Richfield. And we're here tonight to respectfully request that REPS be added to a future Human Rights Commission agenda as a way to inform you and the greater Richfield community about policing disparities within Richfield. REPS has a vision and a mission that drives our work, and our long-term vision is a Richfield community, city government, public safety department, and residents actively working to be anti-racist, transparent in policies, and publicly accountable, ensuring all residents feel safe, respected, and valued in the community. And the way we hope to achieve that vision is through our mission statement, which is facilitate community dialogue and engagement that provides recommendations and feedback to the City Council, administration, and the Public Safety Department on policies, practices, and procedures related to the department, and to hold them accountable to the community they serve. And so to speak briefly to what we hope to share at a future meeting, we have analyzed data received from a Data Practices Act request covering Richfield arrests from December of 2018 to March of 2020. And with our analysis, we saw three major disparities. One, when looking at total arrests in Richfield, Black individuals who make up just 10% of the Richfield population made up 42% of all arrests, whereas white individuals who make up 62% of the Richfield population made up just 40% of all arrests. Second, for traffic-related offenses, Black individuals were arrested at a rate 2.5 times their portion of the Richfield population. And then last, the police department's use of force data, which is on the city website, shows that Black individuals are the subjects of use of force at a rate 4 times their portion of the Richfield population. And so, again, we hope that you would find this topic aligns with the goals set forth in the Minnesota Human Rights Act, and that you would invite us to speak at a future meeting to go into more detail about these disparities, where we could then answer any questions, engage in conversation about next steps and how we can work together as a community. Our hope in sharing this information is to inform the public, promote community action, and urge the city to include the issue of equitable public safety in their upcoming strategic planning process, so that, again, all residents feel safe, respected, and valued in the community. So I think that was about 3 minutes. So thank you for allowing time for me to make this public comment.
Okay, thank you, Katie. Carol, would you like to become a part of this? And again, state your name and address and anything you want to say about this.
My name is Carol Kelly Anstead, and that for the purpose of the minutes, it's Karole. And I too am a member of the REPS community. Everything that Katie spoke of is what we're trying to accomplish. We have some very specific goals and requests, and are hoping that within the Human Rights Commission, we can become great collaborators in meeting that mission and ensure that the community is fairly represented in all issues of equitable public safety.
Okay, all right then. Any commission members or anyone else like to ask any questions of the members of the public who are presenting this? Any questions? And it's okay if you don't have questions, but any questions you'd like to ask initially? Anne, go ahead.
I want to thank you both for coming and speaking, and I am really looking forward to, and this is, I suppose, less a question for tonight and more moving forward. I would really love to know more about how the Human Rights Commission can partner with REPS to help advocate for changes. So we're kind of hungry for things to do.
Great.
Thank you.
Carol, Tim Garvey here. I apologize. I didn't get if you'd mentioned your address just for the minutes.
I did not. So thank you for reminding me. My address is 7123 Oak Grove Boulevard, and of course in Richfield.
Thanks so much.
Great. Any other comments or questions from members or liaisons? Tyler, go ahead.
Oh, Tyler, were you going to say something?
You might be muted.
I was not gonna say something. No, did that
Oh, I'm sorry.
come up? Did it?
Sorry, you lit up blue, so
Oh.
my thing.
I don't know if I
is-
made like a noise or something, but yeah, I guess just I was curious, and maybe Walter, you were going to get to this, but yeah, I mean, I would certainly think it'd be great to. I don't know. Do you guys have like a presentation, or like, when you talk about the next step of coming in and speaking at a commission meeting, what does that look like?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Carol.
Oh, I was going to say, I think that our first step was to make sure that the commission was amenable to having us come and present. We do have a presentation that we have socialized on our Facebook group, and within we wrote a press release and shared that with some publications. It was a presentation that that last spring, excuse me, for fumbling through that, that was shared with certain members of City Council and the Richfield Police Department. And we've gone through the data, which was from a Freedom of Information Act request, and would love to share that with the broader group. We are interested in getting that information to anyone interested, in the hopes that that will influence some of the policies within the city.
So is this a presentation that you could present to us at the next meeting, or is it like just more like an extended discussion? And how much time do you think you would need during the agenda next month?
I think I'm kind of looking to you too, Carol, but I think so. Yes, it would be another conversation, and it is in PowerPoint, so probably 10 to 15 minutes. And then when we've presented this before with the city, there questions and comments beyond that. And so then we've also got some outcomes and action steps that we're hoping to achieve from that. So after we share that, so maybe 10 to 15 minutes, 15 to be generous, I guess.
Okay. Actually, it sounds like a minimum of 20, and I think we could accommodate that. I'd be happy to accommodate that.
Great.
All right.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
So should we make a motion to add them to next month's agenda?
Yep, I think we can do that now. It may not be exactly in accordance with parliamentary procedure, but I'm okay with doing that right now. Would anyone like to make a motion?
Yeah,
To? And
perfect.
can I get the name of your organization again?
Yeah, it's Richfield for Equitable Public Safety. And actually, I can send my written comments to Susie, if that's all right, and if that's, or to you, Tim.
Either one is fine.
Okay, so. and then everything's in writing as well, so you can see the name and a couple of those data points that I shared. And as Carol mentioned, we're mainly on Facebook right now. We have a website, but the best way to find us to join our group even is to join the Facebook group that we have, which is Richfield for Equitable Public Safety. So.
Yeah. And we have a private group and a public group now. Some of the things that we try to protect within the private group is we don't allow press in there. We don't, it is a place for really robust discussion and don't want any of that to be tainted. So we have a general group that talks about our activities, and even to join the private group, we have some screening questions, and if people can't adhere to those terms, we don't permit them in the group. They are voted.
That's understandable. It's I'm sure you'd agree that in this day and time, it can get quite personal and contentious. So
exactly,
definitely understandable. So do we have a motion?
Yeah, I kind of want to clarify too. Would April work for you, you both, or would May? I guess, would you guys be able to make the next meeting, or based on schedules, when would you guys want to be available?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Tiffany. That's a great question. So April 5th, we're looking at?
Wow, I
It's
really should have these marked on my calendar above
the
here. Yeah.
first Tuesday of the month. Yes.
That works for me. Carol, does that work for you?
Yeah, I do not have anything that day.
Okay, great. Yeah, let's plan for it. Thank you.
Perfect. Then I move to have them get time in our next meeting on April 5th.
Okay, we have a motion. Would anyone like to second the motion?
Yeah, this is Tyler. I'll second.
All right, thank you, Tyler. Let's vote on that. Anne
Aye.
and Tim,
I
and I'm also in favor. So thank you both for showing up and for presenting your request. Definitely looking forward to your presentation. And well, I'm guarantee we'll have questions, and we'll see how we can accommodate.
Thank you very much.
Chair
both.
Burke,
Thank you.
Chair, can I jump in real quickly?
Yes, of course. I'm sorry.
Oh no, this is sorry. I didn't jump in earlier. It's just I didn't get the mute button in time. But I just wanted to say hello to Katie and thank you for your work. And I'm glad. I think this is a really good forum for us to have you make your presentation. So I appreciate you following up, and I'm looking forward to it in April. So thanks for coming
Great.
tonight.
Yeah, thanks,
Great.
Simon. You'll get to see it again.
Beautiful, and I have to step away. I'm dropping off of bed. It's the glamorous life here. So I'll come back in, but I'll be out for a few minutes.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. So again, you will be on the agenda next month, and we're looking forward to it.
Thank you for that
Thank you.
opportunity.
No problem. Thank you both.
Have a good night.
Have a good night. Okay. So let's move on to, well, I don't see anyone else from the public available. So let's move on to chair reports. I have nothing to report. I did add a proposed calendar for proclamations, and that'll be in our new business. And hopefully you all had a chance at looking at that, and hopefully I'll talk further about it a little bit later on. But besides that, I don't have anything to report. Vice Chair?
Yeah, I got a busy February actually. So I actually just moved all the boxes of Richfield Human Rights Commission stuff, but I got all of that from the past VP. And then me and Tim were able to meet with Chris, the old secretary, and go over the Google Drive and just best practices. So I think that, or I know for a fact we're in great hands, but I think we've been moving and grooving for February, and now it's March, so time has really flown, but that is all.
The moving and grooving is definitely a parliamentary term. I've seen that somewhere in parliamentary procedures somewhere. So.
I think it's the most professional and official way to say that time is going very quickly.
Yeah. And I do want to get out there. I'm glad we're being recorded. Thanks to Chris. I mean, Chris has been very supportive, and it was a shame that we lost her institutional knowledge, but I don't think we've lost it. I'm sure she's on speed dial, at least on your phone, Tiffany, or email. So that's
I was going to say, Chris has been very, very grateful, or we're very grateful for her because she has been super willing to help out even when not a part. And also Katie as well, the past VP, she has offered any type of knowledge or any questions I have. She's super happy to answer, and I have her cell now, so it's all good.
Excellent. And Tim, I would agree. Was that your first time meeting Chris?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it's quite amazing, huh?
Yes, I really appreciated her taking the time to help me out, guide me through stuff. They've left very detailed instructions, so it should be as close to a walk in the park as possible. And I'll do my best not to fall, nevertheless. But
oh, we're grateful to have you doing the secretary work. I know Tiffany is definitely grateful. So, thank you, Tiffany. Anything else, Tiffany?
Nope. I think that's it.
Okay, thanks. And Secretary, anything to report?
No, in my short tenure, there's nothing to report as of yet, except to say thank you to Tiffany and to Katie for bringing me up to speed. We had a very good, it's a good term for it. Well, productive session about a week ago. And that was the extent of my February. So
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, Chris is amazing. Thank you. So let's go through liaison reports. Mike, you have anything to report?
I do not. Anything for me?
Nope. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Okay. I think it's good to maintain a level of collegiality and consideration, and wondering how people are, especially, good to know that you're okay. Thank you.
Yeah. You too. Good seeing everybody.
Same here. Oh, actually, that brings up a good question. Do you know if we will be allowed to meet in person anytime soon?
It sounds like it will probably be next month, but that decision hasn't been completely made yet. But I'm anticipating if it's not next month, it'll be the following month. I think they're going to look at the numbers tomorrow and start making a more firm decision on that.
Okay. I will admit I love working from home, but with this group, I don't like being in person. So I've got my fingers crossed that we can meet in person. It would be really great. So
I'll let you know as soon as I get that information.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
Yep. You bet.
And Simon, I don't know if he's back from delivering a bed or not, but Simon, if you're there, do you have anything to report from the city council? And if not, well, when you return, we'll ask. So let's go on to new business. So again, I've looked at, well, Tiffany and Tim mentioned the Google Drive, and I looked at it, and for those who have looked at it in the past, proclamations, when I first joined the commission, I was unaware of proclamations, to be quite honest, at least that this commission's involvement with it. And, it's very clear that the proclamations are an important part of what this commission does as far as informing the public about different things and, what's being celebrated and what is being paid attention to at certain parts of the year. And I looked at a number of different calendars for proclamations from the past of this commission. And I kind of just grabbed together all these different certain months that I think cover a good number of groups that should be recognized throughout the year in terms of human rights. For those, I hope everybody got a chance to look at the proposed calendar for proclamations. I'll just open up with, if there are any questions about the proposed calendar. I'll just go through it quickly that we've already taken care of Black History Month. In February, I did present it to the council, and the council and the mayor approved it. And then chronologically, the next one that we would be working on would be Asian Pacific American Month, which, as far as I can tell, I couldn't find a proclamation in the past in accordance with that or concerning that month. So I think it would be refreshing for this commission to recognize the importance of Asian Pacific Americans in Richfield. I think it's also important when you're talking about human rights to talk about Americans with Disabilities Act, the anniversary of it. That's a major one. That's on July 26th. And then Hispanic Heritage Month, which doesn't line up exactly with a calendar month, and there are reasons for that. But it begins September 15th, goes through October 15th. And so we would present a proclamation to the city for that month. And then another month another group that's been recognized in proclamations by this commission in the past is the LGBT community, which is in October 2022, their History Month. And then finally, Indigenous Peoples Month, which is November 2022. And if you look at the proclamations calendar, it sets off that, hopefully we'll be working on each of these months about 3 to 4 months ahead of time, give us a little bit of time to work up a proclamation. And to be quite honest, when we do proclamations, we look at what was done previously. and borrow from what was drafted before. But we try our best to do some research and see if there's something special or unique, some kind of an anniversary that's coming up for that particular month, and try to include that information in there. So any questions about the proposed calendar for proclamations? Any discussion that would like to be brought forth about it? I won't cry if you tell me it's a bad idea, I promise. I did notice in past calendars that there was a mention of a proclamation committee within the HRC. I don't know if there's a need to have a subcommittee, but it would be nice if individuals would volunteer to draft proclamation. I drafted the one for Black History Month, and I'd be more than happy to draft a few more. But if anyone could volunteer for any particular month that they have a particular interest in, it's really pretty easy to draft a proclamation. You look at what was done in the past, do a little research online, see if there's anything special anniversaries coming up or any additional information. If you see that there's sometimes the proclamation will have demographic information, you know, what percentage of Richfield residents are of that group. And if you need help in updating that information, I'm sure any of us could help or be willing to help. I can certainly help with getting census information to, if you want to update that, if you need help with updating it. So.
Walter, I'll volunteer for the ADA anniversary.
Excellent, great.
Ann Flake, I'll volunteer for Pride.
Okay, perfect. And Tim, do you mind capturing these? Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay. And I would please put me down for Hispanic Heritage Month. And you can also put me down for Asian Pacific. I'll take care of take care of those three. I think we have everything covered except for Indigenous peoples. Would anyone be willing to draft that proclamation? You got a lot of time to do it. It's not till the end of the year. And again, if you need help, I'd be more than happy to help.
Yeah, you can go ahead and put me down for that. This is Tyler.
Excellent, thank you. Perfect. Actually,
I'm sorry, Walter, you said you had three. I've got you with Hispanic Heritage and Asian Pacific. What was the third one?
Yeah, I had already done the Black History Month.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and then the other part of it, I noticed the mayor, when I presented the Black History Month one to the mayor at the last city council meeting, that the mayor had mentioned it's preferable to have a community member to help present the proclamation. So that might be something, and actually that was really that's gonna flow into what Tyler's part of the agenda is the outreach. And if
Do you mean a member of the community that's being proclaimed for? I'm an admin of the Richfield LGBTQ group on Facebook, so I'm happy to reach out to other people in that group to find somebody.
It would be one, that's a good example, Ann. You have someone who would be willing to attend the city council meeting and to be there when it's presented to the mayor. So that would be wonderful. So so that's something to consider if you're drafting it, and even if you're not drafting it, if any of you, when you see a particular month coming up, if you can make suggestions to the person drafting it of someone from the community in Richfield to help present, that would be great also. So I think I probably need to make a motion for acceptance of this proclamation calendar for 2022. Would anyone be willing to make that motion?
Ann Flake, I move we accept this proclamation calendar.
Thank you, Ann. Anybody willing to second it?
Tim Garvey seconds.
Okay, great. Let's have a vote. Tyler?
Sorry, what was that?
We're voting on whether to proceed with
Oh,
the
gotcha.
proclamation calendar.
Yeah. The order, the people being included in the, you know, the motion and approving threw me off a bit. But yeah, aye.
Excellent, thank you. And Tiffany?
Aye.
Okay, and I'm also in favor of it. And so that's good. We have a proclamations calendar. And I think what's great about it is that it's 6 is a good number, 1 every 2 months. So that works out also. So, okay. So let's go to Equity Inclusion Administrator update. I think we need to ask Mike about that. Mike, do you have any information about that?
Nothing different than last time. It sounds like the timeline is for midsummer, and that's the only information I really have. A hiring process due this midsummer, so nothing more on that.
Okay. And I hope you don't mind if we ask every month. Until then, it'd just be nice to get any updates along the way. Hope you'll be patient with us.
Yep, for sure.
Excellent. All right, thank you. Okay, unfinished business. Let's talk about the legal advice clinic. So as mentioned last time, we have a date. It's May 6th. I did send the emails out to the 6 law firms and individual attorneys who in Richfield who are interested in participating and waiting for get their responses. I asked them to not only confirm that they will be there, but to confirm what areas of law they're going to be giving advice in. And I know that Tim is going to be. Tim, did you said you were be there also?
I will be there, yes.
Okay, great. And we have you down for every area of law we can think of. So,
Well, I'll inform my malpractice carrier of that immediately.
okay, excellent, good. Yeah, don't be shy about that. Yeah. And I believe Simon said that he would be able to attend. Hopefully, he'll be able to attend.
I'll attend. I'll bring friends.
Oh, excellent, good.
Litigious ones.
What's that?
Litigious friends.
Okay. Well, then we may have to open up a tent in the back of the building to accommodate them, but we'll find it whatever room we can find for that. So,
I mean,
yeah.
dangerous amount of lawyers present.
Yeah, let me know if we need more lawyers. I can bring more lawyers. You know, we maybe don't need a dozen lawyers if we don't have the need for it. So as it develops, just let me know and we'll adjust accordingly.
Perfect. I once I hear back from these law firms, there's one law firm that might actually send 3 attorneys, which would be great because I know they're all bilingual, so that would be wonderful to have. So that would be really helpful. And then I need to take a look at the space to see exactly how many tables we can set up in there. I mean, we have 2 large rooms. I'm hoping at a minimum we can set up 10 tables, provide a little bit of space between groups, and we'll need space for a table at the entrance. And for the members who are not attorneys, the ones who make the rest of it make the attorneys look good. We definitely will need your assistance. We'll need people to do intake and people to guide people around. So hopefully, Tyler, Tiffany, and hopefully you can put us on your schedule for May 6th from roughly noon to 5.
Yes, I already actually asked for the day off, so I am already on my end.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think I can make that happen too.
Excellent.
That was May 5th or 6th?
May 6th. It's that Friday, I believe. And hopefully, Ann, you'll be able to attend. So I know you have an incredibly busy calendar, but hopefully you can. And if you can't be there the full time, that's fine. If you can be part of the time, that would still be helpful. And again, it'll be at the Richfield Community Center on Nicollet Avenue. So I'm still working on the waiver form and the intake sheet, and then a list of legal resources that when people leave, they'll get written advice from the attorney and then a some check boxes. Hopefully the attorneys will check off legal resources that people can use to continue their whatever legal action they're hoping to work on. So that's where the legal advice clinic is for now. And thank you for to the commission members for being so patient about it. It seems like a long time ago that it was ever mentioned, so it's only taken a year and a half. That's not so bad.
Honestly, I think that's pretty good. I'm impressed. And also for advertising wise, now that we have a date and a few areas of law, if you even have any more information about like what law people should do or any information about it that should be on an advertising, you can send it to me because I'm hopefully planning later in March to meet with Adrian, and we're gonna go ahead and make up some flyers. And then my hope is by our April 5th meeting, I have something that we can show the commission. And then right after we get approvals, we can bam, bam, bam. I can email you all some flyers that you can hang up in your local spots, but also I can post on like the community page. And then also I'm hoping I can twist Simon's wrist and make him post it on maybe like the Richfield city page or the city council page if you guys have one that we could post on, and just a few of those things. So I'll be working on that this month.
Excellent. And
Absolutely. Is there, and when is the date again for the clinic? What date is that?
it's May 6th. It's a Friday, May 6th from 1
Friday, May
p.m.
6th.
Yep, from 1 p.m.
Would
to
it-
4 p.m.
Tiffany, would it be possible even to put something together in the next week that we could put out on Facebook? And I know that's a little bit of a tight timeline, but something that, or even if we could just share it in an email, I'd love to start pushing it out to community groups so that they can, and I think particularly like the mosques and the churches and places like that, we can start to share.
Yeah, I can definitely go ahead and make this a priority and try to get something by the middle of March. And then hopefully
Sounds
by the
great.
week of 14th, if I can email you all, and even if Walter is just the one to give me a thumbs up, we can kind of go from there. But Walter, like I said, I don't know if you might have already emailed me all of this stuff. I'm not gonna lie, my email's been kind of cluttered with just like ads for things recently. I've had like a shopping mania lately. But if like, yeah, just areas of law, if you know of like around roughly how many lawyers are gonna be there, and then the location again, just like that address, I can go ahead and whip something up hopefully. Like I said, I'm not usually a great marketing and social media person, but in a pinch, I think I can get us something nice.
Okay, I will send that email to you, hopefully no later than tomorrow.
Okay, no worries.
And then Walter, sorry, I just wanted to mention, just since we're on the topic, and I had forgotten to mention this last time. So when I've done some work with this kind of stuff previously, the AG's office used to have these booklets that were really short, concise booklets.
Yeah.
And I went looking at their website because I've ordered those in the past for free from them, and I could not find any way to do it this time. So I wanted to know if you're familiar with them, just because I found those so useful. But
yeah, at the legal clinics that we used to do, pre-COVID with my organization, MACV, and when I was at Legal Aid, we definitely had those available. I think the AG's office is kind of shying away from printing those out because they have them available as PDFs online. So I know that I still send people to the online for the PDFs, and I think even some of them online might even be translated into Spanish and other languages. So I think that's the advantage of sending them online. But some of the resources I was going to include is the AG's office. There's something called Law Help MN, which is very useful because they cover almost any area of law that we would be dealing with. The Minnesota State Courts have a great website where they have forms for people to represent themselves. So those are the three main ones I was going to include. I think and then, legal aid offices, I was going to include those for people who are low income. And than some other ones that we typically use. Yeah, it would be nice to have those brochures, but I think the AG's office doesn't print as much out because it's just so many people have access to them as PDFs. I do know that the public libraries, I've seen them at the public libraries. So, we may want to direct people to the public library, any of the public libraries to, if they want access to them also. So, any other comments or questions about the legal clinic? Okay. Well, thank you all for your help with it, and I am nervous about it and I am excited about it, and so it's a good combo. Next is Tyler with HRC Outreach. Tyler, it's all yours.
Yeah, great, thank you. So just to kind of preface this once more, as I did last time, this is absolutely going to be an ongoing discussion. Going to need a lot of input from others here in the commission. But just kind of to recap, the conversation from last week. So Simon, appreciated your input regarding the potentially engaging with Dar al-Farouk and the Church of New Life in Bloomington. That's something I still need to kind of take the physical act of reaching out. I actually have a to-do on my list here to maybe, Simon, follow up with you if that's all right, just to kind of, this is the first time I've ever had to, facilitate a conversation in this way, and with kind of my intent to be very deliberate about this and, make these communities feel, that authenticity to help kind of drive some of that. I'm a bit apprehensive about just diving in and I don't know, just on my own.
Let's do it together. They're buddies. It'll be good.
That'd be great. Yeah, I'll just plan to reach out to you offline here.
Awesome.
Sounds good. All right, thanks, Simon. But yeah, so I guess we'll get that going, and then I'm working with Adrian to just kind of have a more kind of a deep dive discussion on this topic, kind of see what ideas she may have. It was something that we were kind of chatting back and forth about during the last meeting. So she specifically mentioned, the apartment dwellers of the city, making sure they're engaged. I mean, that's its own, subpopulation. But I mean, really, we need to kind of keep cultivating this list and how we can reach out, how we can engage. Like Anne, you mentioned you being that admin on it. Is it specific to Ridgefield as well, that LGBTQ plus page group?
Yeah, we recently expanded for, I think, Edina and Bloomington also, but
Okay.
Yeah, we started out as a specifically Ridgefield group.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a prime example of an established community, that we should, and this doesn't need to be, obviously I'm going to be, this is something that I found, something that really resonates with me, something that I want to do, something I think that we can really drive forward, but at the same time, knowing that I may need to lean on some other resources in the commission. And I don't know if, I think that's a phenomenal the fact that you're a part of that group already. It'd be great if we could have some other, we have a couple open spots, and that's something we talked about, in our meeting last month, that, we have unfilled seats on the Human Rights Commission. And, that's an opportunity there, not to, push anyone out or anything like that, but at least to kind of initiate a dialogue of, not only being citizen groups, but also having, encouraged to representation within their community. So, and that's something maybe we can connect on offline as well, just see what that conversation might look like. And again, I kind of am, new to this type of conversation, so I want to be sure I'm coming across in the right way whenever I'm, meeting these new groups. So anybody who has done this before, please do let me know, and I'm happy to take any feedback that some people may have. But that's kind of where I'm at with the moment. So with that, is there anything else, like any ideas that people have, like groups that we know? I think Katie and Carol that spoke, that's another great group that might have some members that would be interested in this type of work. I've already jotted down here to follow up with them on this specific topic. But with that, I'd like to open it up to the floor to get some of your guys' thoughts on other communities that we should be engaging and how we can engage them.
Well, first I'll say, as far as making initial contact within these groups, I'd be happy to do it if you'd like some assistance with that. You know what, my experience with identifying law, I mean, when I started off with the legal clinic, I had no idea how many law firms there were in Richfield. And I was actually quite surprised how many law firms there are in Richfield, and fairly good number of attorneys in some of them. I was actually kind of surprised, and it's good.
How did you find the attorneys at Troutman Law?
I was just going to say, I Googled Richfield law firms. I hate to admit it. And so, it might just be a initial starting point is to just Google, whatever particular group or churches or social groups in Richfield, and see what pops up. And if you can get the names of the groups and any kind of contact information, whether it's phone number or email, as the chairperson, I'd be happy to make the initial contact if that'd make it easier for you. I think the hard work is the initial work of identifying these groups, and if you can give us a number of groups to contact by the next meeting, that would be wonderful progress.
Okay. Great. Yeah, no, that's something I could definitely put together.
Yeah, and once we start contacting each individual group, I'm not shy. If you haven't noticed, I would probably very quickly ask them, are there any other groups in Richfield that they would recommend that we contact? And it's just
Sure.
The network's going to grow. And but the hardest part is making that initial list of contacts. So if we can get that next month, that would be wonderful progress.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I appreciate that. That's a great action item. Kind of moving in a lot of different directions, trying to figure out which direction to move. So I think that's Walter, to your point, that's a great point.
And besides, Simon knows everybody, so don't be shy of asking Simon. It sounds like he's already given you some good leads. So, and I know Simon's not too shy himself, so that would be wonderful.
Okay. Great.
Any other?
So, no, that's that from my perspective, that's kind of what I've been working on over the last month or so. Looking forward to so kind of one of those things where as soon as you've had some of those conversations, they get a little bit easier to have. I just don't want to like turn someone off by, I don't know, getting nervous and that guy was weird. I don't want to work with their group. That guy was weird, kind of fearful of that type stuff. But yeah, I'm excited for this. I think it'll be a great opportunity for the HRC just to get more involved, in different groups throughout the city. So again, always, interested in input or ideas from others within the commission. And I'll definitely plan to follow up with you on that, the group that you're involved with, and see where we can take that.
Sounds great.
I think that's great. Can I just say something to you, Tyler, and to everybody, just a personal observation that the first time you show up in a group, a lot of times it can be weird, and that's totally okay. And I would not let that anxiety, I know that's so real, and usually relationships are great because it's the fourth and fifth time you show up. And if it's super smooth the first time, that's great. And if it's a little weird, also okay.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, this is something I think I'm going to have to work through. Not trying to be perfect right out of the gate. But,
Any other comments?
That's all for me.
Okay. All right, great. Looks like the next thing on unfinished business is to review and modify the draft 2022 work plan. And either Tiffany or Tim or perhaps Susie, can any of you place the current work plan up on the screen? This is where technologically I don't know how to do that. So
I may be able to. Just
Okay.
1 second here.
I'm not even really sure if I have access. I don't know if Chris trusts me enough, but I understand the trust not being there because, yeah, so I don't have anything up yet, but so my hope is on Tim or Susie.
I'm trying to figure out if that's in the drive. I can.
It should be in the drive.
Allegedly, it's in the drive. Again, I poked around the drive like twice, but I had a bad experience in college where I deleted a drive of like a senior project I had with like 4 other people and became the most hated person. So I was like, nope, never
Oh,
deleting
no.
anything again.
I do
One
have,
to you.
I'm sorry. I do have, it looks like a copy of it was sent by Susie to everyone on February 3rd. Although it's labeled January 2021 work plan, it really should be labeled January 2022 work plan.
Let's see. Interestingly, it looks like I've got access to a June work plan and an August work plan for 2021 and a
Okay.
December work plan, but not a January work plan.
Okay.
The
Well,
December work plan is most likely it, I think.
Yeah, it's probably the same one.
Okay, let's take a look at that. Let me go ahead and throw that up on my screen. 1 second here.
Yeah. For what it's worth, it looks like all the members, including Tim and Adrian, received copies on February 3rd, 2022 by email from Susie. But yep, that's it. That's the one. And you can see at the very top line, it says January 2022. And no, my eyesight's not that good. I just happened to see it from the copy.
I was about to say, I was like, okay, super eyes over here.
No, I'm overdue for an eye exam if anything. So is it possible to make that any larger or?
Is it small for you in that case? Because it should be sharing my full screen.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and try something a little different.
I can see the copy that I have. So if it's okay, I'm just going to go through it line by line and
yeah.
First one was Indigenous Peoples Day celebration. Looks like a citywide celebration of Indigenous Peoples Day 2022. That will be, let's see. Again, that's in November 2022. So we have some time to work on that. And Tyler, I know that you volunteered to, I think it was Tyler who volunteered to do that proclamation. Tyler, in your outreach to groups, do you mind contacting the American Indian Education Group?
Sure.
And let's talk with them about how we can be a part of that. That sound all right?
Definitely.
Thank you, sir. And then proclamations, we already talked about that. We've got a calendar, so we are top of that. And Tyler is working on partnerships in the community. The DEI work plan, well, we need a DEI. So once we get the DEI, that will proceed. Mara's not here to talk about the conversion therapy ban. So we'll table that for next time. I'm the one who works on the 2022 annual report. So, and that is presented to the city council in December. So that's a ways off. So legal aid clinic, we talked about that. Outstanding citizen of the year. And Mike, I think I'm going to ask you about that. What is our role with the outstanding citizen of the year? Is that something where people end up, who initiates the voting for that?
I think we need to start to seek nominations for the Gina Mary-Jacobson Award now because the deadlines are due, I believe, at the end of April, April 30th, the deadlines are due. Historically, in the past, it's been difficult to get nominations. So I think if everybody reaches out to their networks and try to find people, the requirements are online on the HRC website, anyway, I think people need to reach out to their networks and see if there's people that are committed to those ideals within their networks, and then get names submitted. But my notes say it's due by April 30th, so that is something we need to start on.
Okay. Okay. Tim, do you mind putting that on unfinished business for the agenda? Or actually, I'll do that. Can you put in the minutes that that is something that is will be on the unfinished business for the agenda next time?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Not to interrupt, but Susie, can you put out the brief description of the Gina Mary Jacobson Award, please?
Sure, I can email the last year's application to the members here shortly. I will need new due dates. Usually it's that last Friday in April, which I think is actually the 29th. And then they are in English and in Spanish. And so I just need you guys to look at them, and maybe Walter, you can get back to me with whatever dates you want put on there. But give me a few minutes and I'll get those to you here shortly.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, and then PennFest. I think we can either Mike or Susie. Can you remind me? Isn't there a particular office in City of Richfield? Is it the housing office that is involved, or they have a booth at PennFest that the commission shares?
I believe we just did that last year because the Just Deeds program was interesting to both HRC and community development. We don't necessarily have to share a table with them.
Okay. Okay.
Tyler was involved in that. I think that's accurate, isn't it, Tyler?
Sorry, I was in the middle of typing a note and I missed the start of your. This was related to.
During PennFest last year, we shared a table with community development because both groups were interested in the Just Deeds program.
Yeah, is there Julie Urban? Is that her?
Yep.
Okay.
So we don't necessarily need to share a table with them.
Okay. But it seemed to have worked out pretty well. Tyler, would you agree that it worked out well sharing a table with them?
Yeah, no, it definitely did. And I think, from the part of that was from the Human Rights Commission perspective, is that we didn't bring a whole lot aside from that, the desire to speak to Just Deeds. So if we were going to have our own, we would definitely want to, beef up that program a little bit.
Okay.
I'm wondering, if honestly, I would say if we're talking about like doing a booth at PennFest, maybe tabling it. So PennFest is in July, right?
I think it's either July or August.
Yeah, so maybe even like waiting a little bit closer to the summer, because even I'm thinking, I know Walter, you were talking about if this for the legal aid clinic, hopefully we can make this biannually or even quarterly in perfect world. And so if May goes off without a hitch, I was thinking, especially for PennFest, if we have something in like September or the fall for another legal aid clinic, we could almost use a booth for like advertising. And then like we have, I think, some other cool projects going on, but I do know that if they are doing the Just Deeds thing again, we could definitely work with them as well or something. But I don't know if it would be, I almost think it's too soon about PennFest, but I don't know. So
no, I agree. We should table it for now, and we can look at it in a maybe after the legal clinic, then we can start looking at it.
yeah, because I just know if we have really cool initiatives, we may want our own booth to show off those initiatives, or I guess promote. Where if we're kind of at a standstill or we don't have a big initiative coming up, then we can maybe reach out even to, I know the group that we just met with today, if they have an initiative, and we can start seeing if we could partner up with other groups, I think a little closer.
Okay. That sounds good.
Fest is traditionally in September.
Oh, it's
September
in
better,
September?
Mhm.
Why did I think it was so hot last year?
because it's Minnesota weather.
Global warming, baby.
There it
I
is.
literally
That's the reason.
remember getting into the car last year and like taking off the Human Rights Commission t-shirt, and they were like, it was just so soaked in sweat, and I'm like, this is disgusting. It was so hot last year. That's hilarious. For some reason, I thought I was in July. Anyways.
Yeah, I think Tiffany, I think you're right. We'll look at it in a few more months. And the next is was the review and the updating of bylaws. That was done in 2021, so we're okay there. And then last thing I see is naturalization ceremony. Tim, I don't know. Are you part of the federal bar at all? I'm not in the federal bar at all. Are you?
Yes, I am.
Would you be willing to? Do you have any contacts over there that you'd be willing to speak with about this issue?
Well, it's been a long time since I've been to the federal courthouse, COVID-19 being what
Yeah,
it is.
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
I
think
yeah,
I'm sorry. I think it's just a matter of reaching out to the district court to see if there's someone there who organizes naturalization ceremonies, and see if they plan on doing any of them publicly in 2022, and if possible if they would consider doing one in Richfield. I think just getting that much information would be great.
yeah, I'd be happy to do that. I also, I'm part of the Federal Bar Association's Committee on Civics, and there's a couple of outreach coordinators that I can think of who I'd be able to contact without, necessarily going right to chambers. So, yeah, so I could definitely get that done.
Okay, all right. Then there were 3 issues for pending further discussion. Anyone like to open up any discussion on those 3, or should we table them for now and give us a chance to look at those 3, and we can have a more full discussion next time? And the 3 issues are voter access initiative, immunization. I don't know if, to be quite honest, I'm not sure what role the Human Rights Commission would have in that. But
I don't know why my name is attached to that one either. I don't remember ever having a.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of surprised that. If it's okay, Tyler, do you mind if we remove that one?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So we'll remove that from the word plan. And then the ranked choice voting, I think we had suspended. We had brief discussions about it last year.
Yeah, we wanted to see how it played out in Bloomington, right?
Yeah, and other places too. Yeah. So I don't think we're there yet. So, so unless there's any concerns about anything, I think that should do it for the looking at the work plan. Susie was kind enough to send out an email with the Jacobson Award description and flyer info. So for those of you who are involved with other groups, or if you know any individuals that you'd like to recommend, or anyone in your community or groups, I'm going to pass on this information. I have a neighbor who's quite active in local social activities, and I'm sure she'll be able to think of somebody. So,
is there a way we can like tell the other commissions about it, because they're all really active members of the city, and so
yeah.
I bet if not one of them would be nominated, they would know people that might be interested or not interested in getting nominated, but worthy enough to be nominated. And so I'm wondering if we could send out to all of like the presidents, or I guess chairs, not presidents, or something along those lines, where they can maybe talk about it in their meeting or something, and maybe start kind of getting the word around. And I think there's like a really good untapped market of like really active citizens that would be worthy of this award in commissions.
I'd be willing to send out an email to, on behalf of the commission to the chairpersons of all the other commissions. Is it possible, Susie, for me to get a contact list of emails of the chairpersons of the other commissions? Is that possible?
Yeah, I don't know who they are, unfortunately, but I can put you in touch with a city person who would.
Perfect.
And then I just ask if you could get back to me within a few days on those flyers. I'll get them all updated so that if you do want to disseminate them out, they are all correct with current 2022 information.
Okay. I can certainly update the ones that are in English. I'd be reluctant to do the ones in Spanish.
Oh, you don't have to update them. You can just tell me the dates and then I'll do all the updating and then I'll put them in PDF form, get them on the website, and then make sure to send them out to the members of HRC so then they can disseminate them to whomever.
Well, I think I can give you the dates right now. That's
Okay. Sure.
Let me just pull up a calendar. And then Mike, correct me if these dates are wrong. It looks like the last Friday in April is Friday, April 29th. And so I think if we get them to the commission by then, in May, we can, I'm not sure exactly what the procedure is once we receive them.
Yeah, then you vote on them and then it takes about a couple of weeks for me to get the plaque ready. And then usually it's presented to city council in June.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So if we get them by Friday, April 29th.
Okay. I can get that probably done tomorrow and sent out to everyone by the end of day tomorrow and posted on the web too.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And then I can even put it on the Richfield community Facebook page. And then I was wondering if we have the ability to share it on other like Richfield public pages or how we would go about that.
Is that possible, Susie or Mike?
That I don't know. I mean, it'll be posted to the city website under the HRC. I don't know if the city will allow it to be posted on anywhere else on the city website since it's already going to be posted on our, but you can definitely take the URL from there and post it on, the community Facebook page for more info to reference.
Okay. No worries. I'll see if we can get the word out somehow.
You know what? I can talk to Neil, our media specialist, and see if he would be willing to make it more prominent somewhere on the city page.
That would be amazing. I think that would be awesome.
I'll check and I'll let you know.
Excellent. Okay. Don't have any announcements. It's open forum. Anything you'd like to add? Any comments?
Simon, I sent you an email. So keep an eye out in your email.
Okay, hearing none. Guess we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I was gonna say I moved to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, Tiffany. Any second?
I will second.
I think Tyler would second if he was not muted.
Am I muted?
No, now you're not. You for a moment you were.
Oh, I didn't do anything, so.
Sorry, I saw the lips move. I didn't hear anything, so I'm assuming it was muted. Was that a second?
Yeah, second. Yeah, you read my lips correctly.
Okay. And Anne?
Aye.
And Tim?
Aye.
Okay, and I also. Thank you all, and looking forward to next month.